What is up, everybody? Welcome to a Friday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium, TGIF, and TGIF with the bets, too, man. We've been ice cold the last couple days, so right at the top, if you want to fade these picks, go ahead. It's been a little bit ugly, and that's why I'm keeping it a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun today with a couple of same-game parlays. See, last night, we had the Devils in 60. They win in overtime. They had the Hurricanes and the Panthers under 6.5. There was 2 goals going into the third period, and they scored 8. It's a 6-4 final. Scored 10 goals in that hockey game. Did hit the Leafs on the money line at plus 120. That was the best Toronto bet of the day, which was nice. But then in the Blue Jays, we had Chris Bassett. He hit a strikeout prop, but then the Jays lose 3-1 to the Tigers. So been a little bit ugly, but if it wasn't for this, I might even take the day off betting. But here we are. We've got to do that. I'm committed to doing this every day except for Tuesday or extenuating circumstances. So we're going to keep it a little bit fun today. We've got a couple same game parlays. These are obviously not plus 5,000, plus 10,000 parlays where I'm just taking my money and flushing it down the toilet. But there are a couple spots that I do like here. We've got starting, and obviously in the two NBA, it's the conclusion of the NBA play-in games. We're going to start with the Bulls and the Heat. I like Jimmy Butler to score 20 or more points. I like DeMar DeRozan to score 19 or more points. And I like Vucevic to score over 9.5. Let's start with Vucevic. I think he's got a good spot here today to make some noise. He takes on a Miami defense that struggles against centers mightily. Even when the Heat were among the best defensive teams earlier in the season, they really gave up points down low. Since the All-Star break, they've been giving up 29.3 points per game from opposing centers. That's 5th most in the NBA. Vucevic has averaged 19 points over 3 meetings against Miami this season and had 29 points most recently on December the 20th. Think he's going to be able to score a lot of points here, and we're only taking him to score 10 or more. So I like that. I like DeMar DeRozan to have another good game. He played 38 minutes against Toronto. He had 23 points. Played really, really well. He shot over 50% from the field. I think between him, I think Miami's going to be able to key in on LaVine a little bit more. LaVine had 39 points, torched the Raptors in 40 minutes the other night. I think his scoring might come down a little bit, but I think DeRozan's going to be the benefactor of that, being the second guy. So I really like him to score 20 points. And then Jimmy Butler just needs to flat out have a better basketball game. He only had 21 points against the Hawks. He shot 31%. He was 6 of 19 from the field. That's not Jimmy Butler basketball. Jimmy Butler is a much better player than that. Bam Adebayo also shot really terribly. And then you had Kyle Lowry, who shot 11 of 16. He shot 70% for 33 points. You will not find a bigger Kyle Lowry fan. Well, you might, but I'm a huge Kyle Lowry fan. The best Raptor of all time. Kyle Lowry's probably not going to score 33 points in this game against DeRozan and the Bulls. Fun matchup, though. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan should be a hell of a basketball game. But I just don't see him having that. So where are those points going to go? Maybe Bam Adebayo. Hero also had 26 points. That might come back a little bit. But I think Jimmy Butler is just going to shoot a lot better than 31%. So I think him getting to 20 points is definitely reasonable. I think Butler gets to 20. I think DeRozan gets to 20. And I think Vucevic down low getting to 10 or more is a very good chance of that happening. So that's a 3-leg parlay for minus 120. That's at FanDuel. This other bet is at FanDuel as well. We've got the OKC Thunder versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. By the way, before I talk about this, there's a lot of really fun things to bet between these two games today. Plus 5.5 for the Bulls and the OKC Thunder, both combined and individually. Love that. Moneyline parlay. We just hit 2 nights ago. Bulls and Thunder plus 722 moneyline parlay. I don't like the Heat. I don't like the Timberwolves. I think both the road teams can win these games as well, and we could see Bulls and Bucks, and I think we could see Thunder and Denver. Thunder might even have a chance against Denver. That would be an interesting first-round matchup, but follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium. I will be definitely sprinkling some more bets and probably a couple more parlays on these games later. But moving to the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Look, you've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so let's just run it down. We've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 23.5 points. We've got Mike Conley over 10 or more, and we've got Josh Giddey under 23.5. The Josh Giddey number, even on its own, is bizarre to me. It's set at 20.5. He only averaged 16 points a game on the season. He averaged 14 over 4 games against the T-Wolves this season. His season high against them was 21 points. That was in a 135-128 shootout in December, where he went 8 of 16 from the field, including hitting 3 3-pointers. I don't think that pace is going to be here tonight. This is going to be a much slower game. This is essentially a playoff game. I can't imagine Josh Giddey gets over 20, let alone all the way up to 24 or 25. Because I think if the Timberwolves win this game, I think those points are going to have to come from Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. I do not expect them to come from Josh Giddey. Mike Conley is an interesting guy as well. He played 44 minutes the other night against the Los Angeles Lakers. He shot 7-11. He had 23 points. He's been very good for that basketball team. We saw Anthony Edwards struggle. He went 3 of 17. He only had 9. Obviously, they were without Rudy Gobert, who's been suspended. Does he even play tonight? He's eligible. Does he play a lot of minutes? What are they going to do with him? I'm not sure. But I like Mike Conley, similar to Vucevic here, just to get to 10 points. He's sort of that Andre Miller, Rajon Rondo, steady Eddie guy for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I like for him to get, at least 10 points in this game. And then you've got Gilgeous-Alexander, who's one of the elite scorers in the NBA. He had 32 points in their win over the New Orleans Pelicans. He's averaged over 30 points on the season, and we just need him to get to 24 points. If he doesn't get to 24 points, the Timberwolves have probably blown this game out of the water. Josh Giddey's probably got 40 points himself, but him getting to 24, I think, is fairly certain. Again, you're looking at games now where we're picking guys like Butler, DeRozan, Vucevic, Giddey, Conley, Gill. These guys are playing 40-plus minutes. This is a do-or-die, win-or-go-home game. We no longer have to worry about rest. We no longer have to worry about preparing for the next game. This is all on the table, so all the players that I've mentioned played at least 36, 37 minutes in their first game of the play-in, and so I expect the same thing to happen here. So Giddey under 23.5, Conley over 9.5, Gilgeous-Alexander over 23.5 gets you to a minus 111, almost an even money parlay at FanDuel. So we're having a little bit of fun today. Give me Jimmy Butler over 19.5, DeMar DeRozan over 19, Nikola Vucevic over 9.5 or minus 120 parlay at FanDuel. And then give me Josh Giddey under 23.5, Mike Conley over 9.5, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 23.5 for a minus 111 same game parlay also at FanDuel. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connolly for more picks and props throughout the day. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and audio versions available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.